Hi there, Gijs here with another review, and this time I am testing the Hopper, a rooftop tent from the Dutch manufacturer opjeautoslapen.nl, which translates into English into something like sleeping on top of your car roof.nl. And is it any good? Just watch the video. Rooftop camping seems to be a trend in the Netherlands, and I do understand why. You know, I'm a great lover of very small, lightweight tents, but a lot of people are not. And with a rooftop tent like this, wherever your car goes, your bedroom is. So no more hassle with pitching, looking for a flat spot, a dry spot, that kind of stuff. And a rooftop tent is really fast to pitch. Just watch me and count. Well, that was about 5 seconds. That fast is how it goes, but this is not the whole tent, of course, because now I have to pitch the awnings and all the other stuff. Ever since I've been testing this Hopper, I've been using my bumper and my spare wheel as a ladder. But that's only with this car. So Hopper provides a ladder with the tent, of course, and it fits inside your rooftop tent. And there it is. And as you can see, it's being delivered in a very nice carrying bag, just to protect maybe the rooftop tent on the inside, or if you use this one in the car, to protect your car. Come on. Let's get that one out of the way. And then it's quite simple, because the only thing you have to do is get your ladder on the edge of your rooftop tent, of the shell of it. So I hook it onto my front runner roof rack, which is quite a solid system, and normally it should hook up to this one. And if you have a big car like I do, or like I have, then well, this is probably going to be your solution. If you just have a normal family car, the ladder is big enough to get into the rooftop tent. Well, now onto the awnings. The awnings, they are quite simple. You just hook them into basically what is the door, and then you fiddle around, because here is a hole where the pole goes into. And of course, for every awning we have two. Well, that's one. There is one on the other side, of course, as well. Small change of perspective. The Hopper, as you can see, has got three awnings. One on the left side or right side, depending on how you look at it, and one on the other side, of course. Those are actually the doors, because the zippers, they go way down onto the shell, so you have a good, decent entrance. This big one actually looks like an entrance, but it is a window. And there's a reason for this, because as you can see, the other ones, they've got the zippers going like this down, and the window has got a round zipper. So if you go through this direction, you might lean onto this fabric and onto the zipper, and it will wear out quite fast. And to be honest, because of my bumper and rear spare wheel, I've been using this entrance quite a lot, but I have also my roof and my roof rack to get onto, so I can get over this. The poles for the awnings, they are made out of metal, and the longer ones, they are a optional extra. The normal ones are these smaller ones, and as you can see, the smaller ones, they have got this triangle here, and it's a very clever invention, because if it rains, the rain goes onto the pole and onto the triangle, and it will drip down here, so no water will get into the rooftop tent itself. Clever. The tent fabric is a 280 grams mix of 70% polyester and 30% cotton. On the inside, to make the tent waterproof, there is a polyurethane coating. Because of the cotton in the tent fabric, it may sound like the tent is breathing as well, which cotton tents do, but because of the polyurethane coating, this is of course not the case. Then onto the shell. The hopper has got a shell made out of ABS, and ABS is a plastic, to say it, well, not officially. Most of the rooftop tents, they have a shell made out of polyester, and polyester is very, very strong because of all the layers of glass fiber and resin that are put together, and that's a really strong structure. It's also very heavy and it's very UV resistant. ABS has got a really big benefit that it is very lightweight, but by nature it's not that strong. This shell is really flexible. Therefore, the manufacturers put a frame inside it made out of metal and partly aluminium, so that the shell is really, really stiff. One big benefit that I did not mention yet about ABS is the fact that it is 100% recyclable, and that's not the case with polyester. So now we talked about the tent fabric and the shell fabric, and now let me go into the details on the inside. So please come into my rooftop tent. Welcome to the inside of the hopper. As you can see, I've changed the camera. This is the GoPro view on the wide angle, so not the super view. That gives a little bit of a different image because of the size that I really need this. The mattress, it's 120 centimeters wide, it's 205 centimeters long, and it's 6 centimeters thick. Around the mattress there is a detachable sheet with a zipper, so you can wash it if you need to. As you can see, all the doors and the window, they have this fine mesh to keep mosquitoes or other insects out. And what I do like is the fact that there are really good cords to tie the mesh, if you roll it up, to tie it down. Really works. And there are two sets, so even if you want to roll the door on the outside, that's possible as well. Then, as you can see here, this is a part of aluminium and this is a part of steel. This is the steel structure which is on the top shell. There's also one on the bottom shell. To the steel structure, the gas spring is connected, and the gas spring, of course, presses the shell open if you open your tent. The aluminium is a part that you also see in caravanning to make a part of a tent, the front tent of the caravan too. This is like a double piece of fabric. This is on the inside, that's on the outside. And the whole tent itself is zipped into this one. This means that if you have a rupture or you use it a long time, you can easily exchange this for a new tent just by the zipper. And if you want a totally other color of tent, then you also have to change this one. But because of this construction, that's also very easy. One of the benefits of a rooftop tent is, of course, that you can leave your sleeping gear also inside of your rooftop tent. So I've got my sleeping bags, mine and my wife's, and we've got 2 pillows here as well. And when we're camping with the kids, it's also possible to put their mats in here, self-inflatables of course, and also their sleeping bags. So if they want to stay in the tent, that makes it, well, we still have to pitch this tent, but to get all the stuff inside, it's going to be way faster. Then there's one remark I have to make about the mattress itself. The mattress is made out of foam. And for my weight, I weigh about 63 kilos, it's fine. And especially, I'm not a woman. My wife, on the other hand, she weighs the same, she's my size, but of course, she's a woman, so she's got a woman figure. And in that, for her, the mattress is a bit too, well, weak, basically. So on the suggestion of the manufacturer of Op je dak slapen, of op je auto slapen.nl, we put a thermarest, a small one, a thin one, under her part of the mattress, and that works fine. But if you have a lot of condensation with colder nights, then and because of the sweating, you also get condensation and sweat and moisture getting through the mattress to the, in this case, a thermarest under mattress. So I would everybody to advise, if you buy a hopper or any rooftop tent, also be aware that you need a ventilating under mattress in it. They do not have it yet, but they will have this at the end of June available for the hopper as well. When I was talking about the fabric, the polycotton fabric with the polyurethane coating to make it waterproof, I didn't tell you one thing. And that's the fact that if you do a tent and you do a polyurethane coating, you have to tape the seams to make them guaranteed 100% waterproof. Well, the hopper only has two seams that have been sealed or taped. This one and the one on the other side. The rest of the seams are not taped. When I had a very fierce storm a couple of weeks ago, I woke up because my head was getting wet from a leakage. And there was a leakage above my head on one of the seams that has not been taped. When I looked further, because the tent, it was really, really raining and the wind was fierce blowing, I saw some more spots where the tent was leaking. And when I looked at it in the morning at daylight, I could see what the problem was, because this is the first tent of a new series. And this tent has not been, well, put together like the standards that also Op je auto slapen .nl wants, or like I would like to have it. I can see some seams that I can look through, seams that the holes are just too big because of a blunt needle or maybe a too thick needle, and I can see some seams that have been taken out and done again because of whatever. I've been talking to the manufacturer about this and they totally agree. They came immediately and they looked at my problems and they totally agree, and they will improve and they will check every tent that leaves their store now to see if it's done like the specifications they give to their manufacturer in China. In this case, I solved my problems with just quite a lot of seam seal that I put over the seams, and well, it's almost 98% waterproof now. One of the things I did not mention yet is the fabric on the inside of the top shell. It's a non-woven fabric and it's glued onto the ABS shell. This is done to prevent condensation, because if you only would have the shell, then let's say the cold night outside and the warm air inside, that will condensate and you will get leaking or drops inside your tent. This just takes a little bit of that moisture and prevents it from dripping. Other thing is that even if you're into a, well, sort of shell, the sound is really nice in this tent. One of the things I like best about a rooftop tent is the fact that you're really high above the landscape. You have a total different perspective on nature. Just have a look with me outside and you know what I'm talking about. If you are planning to buy a rooftop tent like the hopper, then check your car manual if your car roof is able to carry the load of the rooftop tent, maybe a roof rack or roof bars. That's important. Most cars can, because the tent weighs only 65 kilos and most cars do way more than that. If you want to get this onto your roof, then be sure that you or bring a few friends or that you do somebody with a winch. At opjeautoslapen.nl they have a winch, so that's very convenient. The installment itself is pretty straightforward. It's like putting a ski box or a bike carrier on top of your roof. You've got these crossbars from left to right. That's where you put rooftop tent on. And then these brackets, they slide into gutters underneath your tent, and there is where your roof bar will go. And this is really a solid construction. There are 4 of them. This works like a treat. What is very friendly of the manufacturer is that they give a very good wrench to come with it. Well, in my case, it's a bit different because I put this one onto my front runner roof rack, and well, the bars, the crossbars that go from left to right are way bigger. So I had to weld myself some bigger brackets. And if you go to the manufacturer to get one on your roof and you have a non-standard roof rack, then check if this fits. On to the overall conclusion and the rating. The hopper, it's a fine rooftop tent. The materials are well chosen and the construction is very solid. The interior space is big enough for 2 adults and the head clearance will be appreciated by people who are way taller than I am. The mattress, well, with my 60 plus kilos, it's fine, but if you are a bit more heavy than I am, I think it might be too soft. Then putting a thermarest under the mattress itself, that would be a solution. I also would advise everybody to buy a ventilated under mattress, and opjeautoslapen.nl will have one available soon. The only real negative point is the fact that the hopper is not 100% waterproof, and that is for a rooftop tent that's being sold in the damp, wet Netherlands. Yes, I know it's sunny. It's just not possible. I've talked to the owners about this, and they will improve the tent, and they will check every tent that goes out of the shop to see if the seams are okay, because it might be just this tent. Because of this leakage, I can rate the hopper only at 3 stars. But I guarantee you that if they make the tent 100% waterproof, that a 4.5-star rating is very realistic. And it's got something to do with the price. The hopper costs €1,749, and that is for a rooftop tent with a hard shell, a very competitive price. So, with a little bit of TLC from opjeautoslapen.nl and the Chinese manufacturer, the hopper might grow from a fine tent into a great tent. Ciao! And if you like what I do, please subscribe to my channel, like my Facebook page and follow me on Instagram, because with your support this makes it so much more worthwhile. So if you do, many thanks in advance. Ciao!